And in 1994, like 70 infected monkeys got out in our town, and they literally, the police came to YMCA summer camp and let the oldest kids leave to help them look for these monkeys, right?
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I remember like guys, they had guys with like rebel flags in their truck. I'm like, it's not a racial thing, guys. These are fucking 70. These are chimpanzees and macaws that are.
From monkeys escaping in his hometown to unforgettable funeral mishaps, Theo Von's stories are outrageous as they are hilarious.
Running by in this race, you know, there's tens of thousands of people in this race, and when they get close, someone would try to get the water, and we'd be like, no, it's for Asian people only. So you had so many people, and they're running. They have to keep going. There's a huge flow of people. They can't argue or discuss it.
Right.
You'd be like, oh, it's Asians only. And they're like, and they just keep on fucking moving.
Passing out from dehydration a quarter mile down the road.
All these Irish people stacking up at the curb at the next turn, just from boom. And all Asian people were just so happy,
Super
bro.
hydrated.
Oh, yeah, just flying, bro. It was just so bizarre, though.
Such a great choice.
Dude, we laughed for so long. We just sat there, and somebody had deserted their stand, bro. At the lunch table, we get some kids who were mentals, or a couple of them might have been mentals, and a couple kids that were well, you know, and we get there and sit them to make them drink milk and then tell jokes and do stuff until one of them just blew milk out of their face, you know? And if you get some straight up just couple mentals, boy, some straight up sawed off humans.
This man somehow takes the most random stories and turns them into pure gold. His ability to make even the weirdest moments hilarious is just unmatched.
Who's around town, you know? This isn't a gang that's moved in, you know? But I remember me and a couple of other kids, I still remember having a wet bathing suit on, cornering a chimpanzee outside of a Kenny Rogers Roasters with a police officer and 3 other kids, like, rah, 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 you know, by this drive-thru, and this fat elf of a woman honking at us like we're ruining her, you know, dream shake she's buying or whatever, and her fucking cornbread while we're trying to save our town from a who knows what this monkey had.
From a maybe Planet of the Apes apocalypse.
Yeah, maybe something Walter Reed missed. I think one day Elon Musk is going to put a magnet in the sky, and they're all going to go right up there and just zoom to it, and we'll be cured.
Kind of amazing, but it'll lift up cars also.
Oh, sometimes you got to see. Hey, dude, look. Just select Toyotas, and some of them need to go. I remember the first Wigger went to our school. I told you guys that before. The first Wigger, this kid Brian St. Pierre, went to our school, and they'd never seen it before, you know, and they thought he was mentally handicapped.
Only Theo can make a story about cornering a chimpanzee sound like the funniest thing you've heard today.
We're trying to save our town from a who knows what this monkey had.
From a maybe Planet of the Apes apocalypse.
Yeah, maybe something Walter Reed missed. I think one day Elon Musk is going to put a magnet in the sky, and they're all going to go right up there and just zoom to it, and we'll be cured.
Kind of amazing, but it'll lift up cars also.
Oh, sometimes you got to see. Hey, dude, look. Just select Toyotas, and some of them need to go. I remember the first Wigger went to our school. I told you guys that before. The first Wigger, this kid Brian St. Pierre, went to our school, and they'd never seen it before, you know, and they thought he was mentally handicapped. They put him in. They made him eat the third lunch. You know, the third lunch, the special lunch where those kids are in there. You know, they make some of their own food and then they eat it. You know, to make them have a talent. And and he was in there, dude, this Wigger. So you'd have like, you know, you have like kids who really had mental illnesses and, you know, everything, all the DS and everything. And then you'd have Brian St. Pierre wearing a Charlotte Hornets pullover, dribbling an invisible basketball all day, bro. Just posting up.
You know you're in for a wild ride when Theo starts talking about monkeys escaping and kids helping the police chase them down.
Lady up in they close the doors, about 250 people in there. They have a lady at the front. They got her spread eagle, you know what I'm saying, which I think should be our national bird, you know what I'm saying, boy. I salute that, dude. I doubt any brothers would kneel if they let that thing fly across the stadium. I know that.
I hope you write that down. That's really funny.
Well, I mean, that's just what's going on, you know. I appreciate it, and thanks, brother. We're not racist, or I'm not trying to be. You know, I have some flare-ups in traffic, but overall, I'm good. You know, I'm doing my best, man. I'm out here on the front lines of not trying to be, brother. And in 1994, like 70 infected monkeys got out in our town, and
I still can't get over the national bird joke. Spread eagle? Only Theo would think of that and somehow make it funny.
Fucking raccoons come out when I'm out outside my yard. I'm not even joking, dude. So
like,
many.
Dad?
Oh, yeah. We didn't have a lot of Asians, man. We had a There was a rumor of an Asian when I was first.
What was his name?
I'm not sure.
What was the rumor? What was the rumor?
The rumor was, and I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before. They had a rumor that there was an Asian kid, right? And this was after, because we got a Latino kid. We got a Latino kid.
Yeah.
Named,
Not a family, just one kid.
Congratulations.
One guy. Nicholas was his name, and he had a little bit of light facial hair.
Nicholas,
Everybody
yeah.
was fired up about that. Fired. There was a lot of rumors and stuff going around about that.
Yeah.
Because people had never seen that on children. You know, it's like,
Wait, be light hair on the face?
yeah.
His stories are like an absurd fever dream, but in the best possible way. Like, who else would bring up raccoons in the middle of a conversation?
The cologne I had on when I came in there?
I don't know. You guys smelled good.
Yeah. I feel like you're so full of shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh. You guys smelled good, man.
Bro?
Yeah.
What do we
dude.
smell like when we walk in?
Honestly, I usually think it's like a lot of deodorant.
Wow.
Bro, my
Yeah, no, black people do wear a lot of deodorant.
love
though.
deodorant,
Yeah,
bro. You'll see somebody start at the wrist.
Yeah, we hammer
You'll see a
deodorant.
motherfucker.
You know, it's not every day you hear a story about getting deodorant in your mouth, but Theo makes it feel like the most natural thing in the world.
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm staying down there. I appreciate it, and thanks, brother. We're not racist, or I'm not trying to be. You know, I have some flare-ups in traffic, but overall, I'm good. I'm doing my best, man. I'm out here on the front lines of not trying to be, brother.
I tried to commit suicide.
Oh.
I tried to OD on a bottle of Theragram M. You know those
What is
vitamins?
that? Those vitamins?
Yeah, I tried to OD on vitamins. When I
And
was
what'd you
8.
get? Just better?
I just fell asleep.
What did you get? Better? I'm just thinking like vitamins. It seemed like.
I didn't have. They didn't have OxyContin.
Would you rather be blind?
His comfort with making fun of himself is a part of his charm. He brings the same chaotic energy to every story that he tells.
But frisbee out of upside down frisbee was all I had.
Really? Be real.
Yeah.
Yeah?
What?
And so I'm in this tunnel. There were cars whizzing by. Here's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Extremely hard to poop when cars are going by at 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, and furious too.
Yeah.
Furious. Like, and also white people. Like, it was Pittsburgh, so it's furious white people driving by. I can, if other people, some certain ethnicities, I can shit easier when they're driving by, honestly. You know, like if a couple of brothers are rolling by blasting some.
I mean, who else could talk about pooping into a frisbee in a tunnel and make it laugh out loud funny?
Sister, one time we lived together for a while, right? And this was probably about 8 years ago. They had this other dancer that worked with her, came over to our place, right? Stole our vacuum. Right? She was on these Klonopins and everything, and then she got all fucking, warm under the skin one night on them pills and fucking stole our vacuum,
As you do.
I wasn't there when she stole it, but literally I could picture her probably trying to put it in her purse, like the stick end in the purse and the fucking huge vacuum hanging out, right?
His childhood memories are like watching a bizarre, outlandish version of a sitcom. I can't help but laugh at all of his absurd adventures.
Yeah.
I was like, when you get deodorant in your mouth, like it's such an unmistakable consistency.
Oh, definitely, dude.
Because it like part of your tongue like goes numb.
Oh, that's called that's called the
That's not called.
I think it's called a Hartford back alley. Yeah. That's out of Connecticut. That's at Hartford back alley. When you actually lick a girl's armpit, you get deodorant in your mouth,
And like, you know how it's like gets real dry?
Oh, yeah.
Like on your tongue.
Oh, because it's an antiperspirant. So it takes all the moisture out of your tongue.
All of a sudden you just got that like sandpaper on the tip of your tongue. And I saw him because I remember he did it and I like squinted just to look over to see what he was doing. He was like,
My buddy used to do that when his grandmother would be too loud. He put a little bit of deodorant on her tongue.
no, he didn't.
Yeah, he did have her quiet down a little bit. And she didn't mind it, I don't think, because a little bit of attention. But,
His ability to make uncomfortable moments hilarious is a gift. Who else would share something like licking deodorant and turn it into a joke? At the very least, I guess his breath was fresh.